Guys, I can't believe who's here to make their debut in Season 2. Look at this. Oh my god. This is crazy.
Can't have Crocodile without Miss All Sunday.
Each week, let's hear it for Lyra Albava as Miss All Sunday.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Iñaki, and today we're gonna have the table read for One Piece Season 2.
Welcome. There are a lot of familiar faces. We are all very proud of what we do. So it all starts right here. Let's have some fun today.
Woo! Now this is the ride! Happy hunting!
It's a big mountain.
Gamagam Pisto!
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Netflix just released a new teaser trailer and some footage for One Piece Season 2, revealing pretty much all the new characters. Chopper probably the most hyped, but they did not say who is actually playing or voicing Chopper. Oda also revealed that the season will only adapt Loguetown to Drum Island, so they're only adapting part of the arc for Season 2, and it seems like they're letting them adapt way more of the story so they don't have to speedrun the entire thing in a single season. Meaning that some of the new characters will only be teased briefly, like Mr. Zero, Nico Robin, and become much bigger parts of the story as they continue the Alabasta Arc into Season 3 and make it to the Alabasta Kingdom. So they'll probably end the season with them defeating Wapol, recruiting Chopper to their crew officially, and then learning Gold D. Roger's actual name. It's not Gold Roger, it's Gold D. Roger. What they'll also probably do, and they did this at the end of Season 1, is they'll rearrange and add some more teasers for the next arc at the end of the episode, the end of the finale. So even though at the end of Drum Island, there's not like a whole lot of Baroque Works stuff going on during that, they'll probably add that in for the Season 2 finale, teasing Mr. Zero, teasing more Nico Robin stuff, and teasing them actually going to the Alabasta Kingdom. So we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the episodes. There are a couple really big actors that you can see here. They got like David Dastmalchian as Mr. 3, Clive Russell from Game of Thrones as Crocus. We'll see him at the beginning of the season. Callum Cares, there's Smoker. I've never actually seen any of his other stuff, but it should be pretty interesting to see the way they adapt that because Loguetown sounds like it's going to be a big part of the season. During the other teaser that they released, they actually do a bunch of behind the scenes here. This is Jeff Ward, who plays Buggy, going around what looks like Loguetown, just because that's the beginning of the season. They just started filming, so they're probably doing a lot of Loguetown stuff right now. There are a couple teasers for what Drum Island is going to look like in live action, but they probably won't actually be filming on those sets for a while. Julia Rewald you probably recognize from some stuff recently as Tashigi. Then another big one, Katie Seagal playing Dr. Correa. They actually said they tried to get Jamie Lee Curtis, and Jamie Lee Curtis wanted to be in the series as Correa, but she had too many scheduling conflicts with the movies that she was making when they're actually going to be filming Season 2 episodes. Charithra Chandran is Miss Wednesday, aka Princess Vivi. Then obviously the big one, Joe Manganiello, who is like hosting this whole Geek Week celebration, playing Crocodile, aka Mr. Zero. He even came out wearing a flower, trying to be more accurate to the manga, making more references. But notice on stage, even though they weren't trying to give away big spoilers or anything like that, like the manga is out there, you can actually go read it right now or even watch the anime. But he was careful to tell people they are changing the storyline, so he won't be that big of a character during Season 2, not till Season 3, where he becomes the actual main villain.
She's perfect. You guys just wait until you see her do her thing. And Joe, I'm sorry, I want to give credit to you too. Joe has not yet joined us. He's coming soon, but you and I talked about this a long time ago.
I guess technically he is kind of the main villain of Season 2. It's just that you don't see a whole lot of him during the portion of the arc that they're adapting for Season 2. The showrunner claimed that when they made the deal for Season 1, they plotted out Season 2 and Season 3 in a very detailed way. They have a really solid idea of what those seasons will adapt from the manga, but beyond Season 3, they only have loose concepts about what that's going to be. Even though if you've read the manga, you have a pretty solid idea of how the story progresses. They did say they want to adapt all the manga depending on when Oda decides to end it. They legit have a chance if they're going to speedrun entire sagas with each season. And based on their initial outline for what Season 2 and Season 3 are going to be, it sounds like that's what they're going to do. The real big question, though, everyone had was how they were going to do the Chopper character. Will he be a special effect like CG, or will he be more like a Muppet? Look at the character like Grogu on The Mandalorian. That's probably a good template. Some of the time when they're filming with the Grogu character for episodes, they use a physical puppet in scenes, and sometimes he's just completely CG. You can kind of spot the differences if you rewatch the episodes really, really closely, but they're getting pretty good at blending both versions of the character. Chopper comes from Drum Island in the Grand Line. It's a winter island renowned for its good doctors. Season 2 is largely going to adapt the Alabasta Saga from the manga. Some people call it the Arlong Saga. You can call it whichever you want. Originally, the manga referred to it as Alabasta, so most people who do that in present day are people who just read the manga back in the day. They also refer to the second saga sometimes as the Baroque Works saga because they're the main antagonist driving the main plot forward the entire season. Crocodile is their leader. He's one of the 7 warlords like Mihawk. His grand plan is to create a perfect kingdom, and he created the Baroque Works organization to do that, but really his secret goal in Season 2 is to just take over the Alabasta Kingdom and become its ruler. Within the world of One Piece, the Alabasta Kingdom is kind of like a stand-in for the Middle East. It's like a desert kingdom. What they'll probably do in Episode 1 is a combination of Logtown and Reverse Mountain. That's what the teaser post-credit scene was for during the finale. The man was Captain Smoker looking at Luffy's wanted poster. Season 1 was meant to adapt the East Blue Saga. Logtown is like the end of that in the manga, but the showrunner said that they just ran out of money, like they ran out of budget, so they had to leave Logtown for Season 2. They'll probably do a speedrun version of Logtown at the beginning of Episode 1 where Luffy, the Straw Hats show up. They pay off a bunch of references back to Season 1. He meets Captain Smoker, Vivi, Buggy, returns with Alvida. Logtown is a really important place in the One Piece universe for a lot of reasons. Like, Logtown was featured in the first episode of the series because that's where Gol D. Roger originally came from. That's also where he was killed by Luffy's grandfather. Practically, it's also really important because it's the last stop on the way to the Grand Line before Reverse Mountain, so any ship wanting to travel to the Grand Line has to pass through Logtown. Captain Smoker is the marine leader of this area. He sees his wanted poster wanting to take Luffy down just because their whole thing is arresting pirates. Smoker also has devil fruit powers. His powers allow him to create, control, and transform any part of his body into smoke. If you're a fan of Avatar The Last Airbender, and Netflix is doing a live-action Avatar The Last Airbender series, like I just did a trailer video for it, Smoker's powers would be kind of like airbending, but just for smoke. That's why he's always smoking so much. Like, why would you smoke 2 cigars unless that was part of some base power set that you had? How fast do you want to give yourself cancer? They'll probably have Luffy's rematch with Buggy and Alvida, who's gotten her slip devil fruit powers. They kind of tease that at the end of Season 1 with Alvida wanting to join Luffy's crew. They basically team up. Luffy and the Straw Hats also run into Vivi, who is one of the most important new characters in Season 2 just in general. She is the princess of the Alabasta Kingdom and secretly infiltrated Baroque Works, hoping to stop them from taking over her kingdom. She starts out as an antagonist to Luffy and the Straw Hats, but eventually joins the crew for the remainder of that saga. The whole reason why she was at Logtown, which will probably be Episode 1, was to kill the giant whale for its meat. Luffy and the others prevent her from doing that, and because the whale is so important for other arcs way later in the manga, other characters way later in the manga, maybe a really quick scene, but it just makes sense to include the giant whale. Then they'll probably just do Reverse Mountain for like the second half of the episode.
The entrance to the Grand Line isn't too far off, but I think there's a mistake on the map, but it doesn't make any sense. These elevations show a mountain. I mean, how can a river go up a mountain?
Then they'll do Whiskey Peak, they'll meet Baroque Works, Vivi becomes a bigger part of the team. They also introduce Nico Robin here in the manga, so they might do that on the series, but she doesn't actually join the crew full on till after the end of what would be the Season 2 finale, basically. Then there'll probably be at least some reference to Little Island before they go to Drum Island for the final part of the season. They arrive at the island in the middle of a Game of Thrones power struggle, but there's a bunch of Little Island stuff that happens before that. I don't know how quickly they're going to speedrun that. The whole thing with Little Island is it's kind of like Jurassic Park in the One Piece universe. Their island is stuck in the past, basically with dinosaurs all over the place. There are a bunch of giants that live there, so the name Little Island is meant to be ironic. And like Oda said, they're basically going to end the season on Drum Island. Luffy winds up having to do battle with Wapol, whose family used to rule the island. They have a big Game of Thrones power struggle where he tries to return and take control again, and they have to prevent that. Just to address what's going to happen beyond Season 3, I do think Netflix will give it at least 4 to 5 seasons. Beyond that, Netflix has a terrible track record with renewing shows for longer periods. Stranger Things, for example, is an exception, not the rule. Really hoping that they give them at least 7 seasons to do as many of the One Piece arcs as possible. My assumption is if they can't do that, then they'll try to speedrun the most essential parts of the later manga so they can give the show the same kind of ending as the manga, but if Oda hasn't ended it yet, they might have to do a series original ending if they don't just end at some earlier point in the manga. This is a very Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire kind of problem. Like, HBO had to end the Game of Thrones series before the Song of Ice and Fire novels it was based on ended, so they kind of had to do a series original ending with like one plot point that George R.R. Martin had told them. The only part about the original book ending that George R.R. Martin revealed to the showrunners was that Bran would become king. Everything else was basically original to the show. The One Piece Netflix showrunner, the producers, pretty much the entire cast are all such super fans of the One Piece manga. I don't think they're going to do that for the Netflix series. I think that they'll work out something with Oda. But let me know in the comments, if they do have to end the show before Oda ends the manga, how do you want them to end the show? Everybody post all your Season 2 predictions in the comments below, and I'll do more videos as they release more footage. It sounds like we'll be getting some more footage pretty soon. There's a bunch of big stuff coming up. They also dropped the teaser trailer for Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 2 with Toph. Click here for that, and click here for my brand new Marvel Thunderbolts trailer video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.